CoinX, where we learn more. Let's look at LETS. What are LETS? It stands for Local Exchange Trading Systems. And if you would love to find an alternative to the traditional fiat monetary system, it might be time to take a look at LETS. As our financial world grows increasingly digital and interconnected, these innovative systems are offering a unique approach to commerce that emphasizes equity, accountability, and community. So have you ever wondered what a LETS is all about? Have you even ever heard of it? Well, LETS are ingenious systems launched and managed locally as nonprofit community initiatives. Their main goal is to provide a platform where members can trade goods and services within their community without the need for traditional government currency. These systems are democratically organized and embody the true spirit of mutual aid and mutual credit, and are all about building a network where many types of goods and services can be traded fairly, easily, and equitably. The foundation of LETS is based on promoting a fair exchange of labor and resources within a community. Imagine a trade system where everybody's input is not just recognized, but is also valued. That's the kind of equitable commerce that LETS strives for. But it's more than just a trading system. It's a community coming together, accounting for everyone's contribution in fostering an environment of fairness and community values. While a local exchange trading system may initially appear similar to a bartering method, there are actually significant distinctions to note. Bartering typically operates on a one-to-one exchange principle where goods or services are directly traded without the involvement of a currency or a medium of exchange. This presents a fundamental problem. Finding two individuals with perfectly aligned needs can be very difficult. But this is where LETS come in. They offer a solution to the direct swap limitation that is inherent in bartering. Instead of relying on reciprocal needs, transactions in LETS are tabulated in a common unit, often coupons, allowing a heightened degree of exchange flexibility. In this system, the exchange process becomes less about the perfect matching of wants and needs and more about contributing and benefiting from a community's collective resources. So how is this done? In a LETS, the administrator and administrating board decides and produces a tangible form of currency that is used to facilitate and track the exchanges. This can take the form of coupons or digital token systems, or some people even use nuts or sticks with notches in them, or anything can be used within a small community as a means of keeping track of exchanges. These LETS currencies represent a more fundamental and genuine form of currency because they're a pure and transparent representation of the labor of the community members. And that's it. There's no interest or fancy financial schemes or bankers or accountants or tax collectors, treasury agents, or anything else that one might see in the convoluted fiat system. It's a pure exchange of resources between members of the community, and that's a beautiful thing. However, depending on where you might live, these things might actually be taxable income. So if you and your neighbors are exchanging things with each other using sticks as a means of keeping track, it's a good bet that the IRS is going to want you to pay taxes on the sticks that you've traded. And that can become difficult because how do you keep track of the value in dollars of all these sticks that you're passing back and forth amongst each other as a means of keeping track of your exchanges? So there are inherent problems in trying to implement LETS in the United States. Great Britain has implemented them with a lot of success over the years because they are more tolerant of alternative exchange systems like this. But unfortunately, it can be much more difficult in the US. In the United States, however, time banking is a similar kind of thing, but because of the way that it's done and structured, at the moment, the IRS isn't quite sure if they want to consider the time traded between people in a community as taxable. And so that may offer a more interesting option for those that live in the United States that would be interested in a LETS, but would not want to tangle with the difficulty that it might bring with trying to track reportable income to the IRS. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, research it, learn about it, learn about LETS, learn about mutual credit. Mutual credit is a very interesting idea, and that may be very usable in the United States. Time banking is at the moment very usable in the United States. Who knows how long that will continue to be usable? But there are all sorts of interesting ideas. And we frequently have blog posts over at thecoinblog.com that talk about things like this. So if you found this interesting, check out some of the articles at thecoinblog.com and learn about the new idea of alternate kinds of exchanges, alternative currencies, alternative systems for exchanges. It's really very interesting. And at the very least, it's a fun thing to read about. So that's what we had to talk about today on CoinX. We hope that you learned something new, and we will see you next time.